So my name is Steve Swink, and I have an independent game company in Tempe, Arizona called Airship, and I'm a game designer. I'm a game designer. I call myself a creative director, even though there's only 5 people at the whole company. But I do game design and a little bit of art and it's a little bit of kind of programming sort of things, and I just sort of run everything a little bit. That's what happens if you work at an independent game company. Everybody does everything. I decided to become a game designer when I was 6 years old. I was playing my dad's Commodore 64, and there was a game that no one's ever heard of called Sea Route to India, which I just thought was the most amazing game ever. And I played that and played it and played it, and I had all these ideas about how to change it, and I started poking at the code on the Commodore, and I just sort of decided that was what I wanted to do. I think that games are the creative medium of this century, and what I like the best about working on a video game is that you get to touch so many different disciplines. It sort of encompasses all the art forms of the previous few centuries, film sometimes, digital artwork, music, sound design, and then also this sort of big question mark, which is virtual aesthetics, right? So you're controlling something in a game, you're manipulating it, there's a certain aesthetic quality to that. And not a lot of people really understand, especially well, how to construct that, and I wouldn't say I do even, but it's just really fun to be at that frontier and play around with it. That you play video games all day and it's really fun and easy. I don't know, working on games is unbelievably difficult, and it can become an obsession pretty quickly, and it can really impact your personal life and lower your quality of life if you let it, especially working at a big company where that becomes part of the culture and becomes an expectation. So I think you have to be really careful if you're going to work on video games. You have to be sure that you spend a lot of time doing stuff that's not video games and you have a rich and full and enjoyable life. You can make better games that way too. If your life is interesting, your games will be interesting. Well, just figure out what you really like to do, whether it's art or programming or design, and just do it a lot. The inherent value that you would have to a game team or your ability to make games is all based on the skills that you have, and the better your skills, the better chance you're going to get into a game team, or the better chance that you're going to be able to make games on your own. So just make games. If you want to make games, or program or do art or do some part of making games. It was the Star Wars arcade game, the one that was all vector art and sort of cruddy, and but it sort of has this beautiful aesthetic appeal now if you look at it. It took a lot of imagination as a kid to turn that into something that looked like Star Wars, but when you look back on it, it's really quite charming. Playing a lot of desktop dungeons, which is an indie game that's coming out for various devices pretty soon. That's pretty amazing. I played through Portal 2. I played a lot of indie games, stuff like that. Play a lot of Spelunky.